What up, footballers? Welcome back to another episode of Spitting Fire. Jeffrey and James here with you as always. And during this week, James, this last following week, we got some unfortunate news, some very unfortunate news. One of our, I know he's one of my favorite players. I won't speak for you, but I really do feel highly about Matt Polster. He came down with some injury news. James, what's going on?
It seems like he re-aggravated his right MDL injury in practice a few days ago or last week.
MCL?
No, MDL. I have that right. It's the medial collateral ligament, that's an MCL, which is not an MDL.
I think you're thinking Michael DeLiu.
Maybe I'm thinking Michael DeLiu, but it's his right MCL, medial collateral ligament tear, and it's a tear.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be out for 5 to 6 months, unfortunately. That pegs him back for October, November time. And that's either playoff time or end of the season time for this Fire squad.
I think it's very, very unfortunate. I think of all the injuries, of the players that are injured and out, I think his return was going to supply the biggest boost for
the most
Chicago
important
Fire.
Injured player.
We said it when he came out, that news initially came out, that he actually is one of the Fire's playmakers. He actually causes plays.
Yes.
He had a boatload of assists last year, and he makes some things happen, from the back. And not only that, but he's a really good defender. So they're missing that two-way ability.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. And he had that Instagram post the other day, looking like he was coming back. But unfortunately, another setback for Matt Polster.
It's tragic. For a player of this quality, it was as good as he is mentally, physically. He just seems to be doing all the right things, and he just can't stay on the field. He had similar problems last year with his other leg, and these are also not new problems for Polster. Unfortunately, he just might not have the body to live up to a professional season of work.
Well, let me ask you this, James. I know his contract is coming up.
Yes, it is. At the end of the season.
What are you thinking about that? What do you do with that?
So I think Matt Polster is a capable MLS player. He can hang in MLS, even maybe as a role player. So I would have no qualms about signing him for another season or even two as potentially our backup right back, a backup center, defensive mid, a backup for a lot of positions because he could play a few spots.
Well, yeah, and that's really unfortunate to hear because at the beginning of this year, I thought he was going to, take a leap forward and knock at that U.S. men's national team spot. Maybe. Not saying that he would get there, but, get closer to that spot and
push Yedlin a little bit more.
Very serviceable right back for the Chicago Fire.
Yes.
Now you gotta, I think the ability will still be there when he returns again.
Yes.
But the best ability is availability, and so you gotta wonder if you can rely on that going forward.
We couldn't rely on this season, and we couldn't rely on 2017 season. Can we really rely on a 2019 season?
It's really unfortunate. It's just gutting.
It's gutting.
Again, he's one of my favorite players.
Absolutely.
Just works so hard. One of our guys, one of our draft picks, played great last year. And going forward, it sucks for him, and it really sucks for the Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
So
they have no really way to create that offense that he created, and they don't have a replacement ready to go because Ellis is more defensive.
I think the Ellis experiment needs to. Even though he's been played well, but I think it's time to move on from that. Give someone else a run.
What is Rafa Ramos the answer? We saw what Rafa Ramos could offer at Minnesota, and it wasn't much.
True.
Drew Connor has been out with maybe a knock or a niggling injury that's just kept him out. So maybe he does return and challenges Albert Ellis. That's the next team. Challenges Kevin Ellis for that right back spot, and maybe pushes him and takes it over because he is more offensive and he could play a little bit more two-way.
Yeah. So there are a couple guys, but I mean, Is it going to be supply? What Matt Polster can supply? No.
No, absolutely not.
Very, very disappointing and somber week for Chicago Fire. Matt, if you're watching this, please, please, please get better. And you know what?
We're rooting for you hard.
I will take you on Chicago Fire
any day
next year, and then a couple of years after that. I want to see you on this team.
And if you could take a chance on him with a contract, and guess what happens maybe next year? Maybe the guy who is the starter falls out, and maybe he ascends, and maybe he is able to stay around a little longer. I do wonder if the U.S. men's national team call-up may have set him back a little bit.
Well, and
coming back off that 2017 injury.
And you see fans on Twitter also wondering what's going on with some of the injuries and things like that. But I think we'll end it here.
But we'll end it there. Just some interesting thoughts. Big bummer for Chicago Fire. Let us know how you feel. It's probably very similar. Not good news. Either way, we're thinking about you, Matt, and we want you to get better. Hopefully you can get better as soon as possible, and hopefully the Chicago Fire can make the playoffs. So if he does come back, he can come back for a playoff run.
Like a Kyle Schwarber.
Let's go! All right.
See you guys.
All right, guys. We'll see you guys later. If you enjoyed the analysis, enjoyed the news, well, I don't enjoy this one, so we'll just leave that one out. We'll see you guys later.
Later.
Bye.